Hello, everybody. How are you doing? You know what? I was still hearing the music somewhere in my head. So forgive me if I was just kind of rocking out and didn't notice that we had already started. Quite often, I am back here dancing, so that's not unusual. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fabulous episode of Epic Understanding, and I am your host Coach Love. Now, tonight I am excited to bring to you a man that I can just simply say I respect. I respect his journey. I respect his hustle. I respect his vision. And I truly believe that God is doing something special with his life. And there's much more to come because you don't go through and survive what he's been through without having a calling on your life. So without further ado, hello Anthony, how you
Hello.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
Oh, that's a great adjective. I love it. First, I got to thank you again. Here we are again. Thank you so much I'm just grateful going into the new year and even just meeting you this part of my life. I'm so grateful. And all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you for what you do and who you are. I really appreciate that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's excellent. And you want to know what? Let me thank you up front. You jumped into our community, our Discord community, and you started mixing it up with the folks there. So I appreciate that. Um, I know he's in the chat, and I talked to him a little bit about you. His name is a guy by the name of John Taylor. He is somebody who really reaches out to our Discord community and tries to touch their hearts when it comes to addiction. So I talked to him about you. I talked to you about him. So he's there in the chat. There he goes. They call him Fireman John. I wonder what he did for a living. Wonder. But anyway. So just thank you. Hi, Ing. Hi, Charmin. Just hi to all those who came to support. Um, is there anything special you want to tell everybody before we get started, or do you want to introduce your team?
I would like to introduce the team.
All right, all
I
right. Who
would
you
like to
bringing
introduce
up?
the team. I'm going to bring up Megan Price.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Megan.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you
Awesome.
so much, Coach Love, for having us on here tonight. It is such a blessing and an honor to be here with you. We are so grateful.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Now, don't give it all to us, but tell us a little bit about um, where you're from and exactly what you came through.
Sure. Currently, I reside in North Carolina. I am from the Tampa Bay area, specifically Pasco County. Um, it's a jungle. It's
Mhm.
definitely a jungle. I was blessed to finally get out of there. No offense, Florida people, but I'm just grateful to be in a new geographic location. But my story is basically the chapter is called Beauty from Ashes. And
Uh-huh.
it just talks about my journey, where I was, what I went through, where I am now, and how I got here. Um, how I had attempted for so many years, almost a decade, to try to escape from drugs and alcohol. And eventually, one day, my rock bottom, I think it was like my third one,
Mhm.
I ended up in jail and I met my Lord and Savior. And so it's just about my journey and how the Lord and Savior came into my life and made those 8 years just irrelevant. And within 1 year of making those changes, I have been out of a sober living facility now for 3 years. I was in all women's sober living facility. Um, in just 1 year, I have my own house. I have my car back. I'm reunited with my child. I'm a North Carolina certified peer support
Yeah.
specialist working for Monarch Behavioral Health System here in North
Mhm.
Carolina. And I'm also in school at St. Leo University working on my master's in licensed clinical social work. So this has happened, you guys, in a year. I don't know.
Amen. That's beautiful.
Yes.
People work their whole life in a year. So God is moving at miraculous speed in my life. The blessings, you know, I stay grateful and thankful, and he continues to bless. And I'm just beyond,
And now you are a published author.
And now a published author.
There you go. 1 year.
Yes.
Year. Amazing. That's amazing. You're going to unpack your story for us as we talk tonight. But tell me, who do you want to bring up?
I'd like to bring up Mr. Derek this evening.
All right. Here we go. Derek, you guys know Derek DP. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Thank you. I am in your presence, so you know it's a step up. We're in a good place, in a good space. Anytime we get to share smiles, it is a joy and a blessing. So, folks will, in true transparency, Coach Love is a kindred heart for me, and it's good to over this time that we've been brought together once again. So it's good to be here.
That's amazing. I love it. Now you have a little bit different take on addiction than everybody else in the book. Give us just a brief idea of where you fit into the team.
We got into and talking to Anthony, you know, we said, well, rehab and recovery means different things to different people. And for me, rehab and recovery, which is a change of physical location, space, and time from where you were to where you want to be. And I had some medical issues through surgeries that created life-altering, circumstances for me. Rehab for me was sitting at the lowest point of it. I'm sitting there with a chaplain on the corner of my bed, asking me, do I want to get right? Because I've got 27 blood clots and a saddle embolism. They've got to put a stent, and we don't know how to treat it. When the doctors tell you they don't know how to treat it, and the chaplain sits on your bed, a change of location is required. One, you have to accept where you are, exactly where you are, as you are, how you are. And from that point, I had to learn to do basic human things in order to heal, in order to get better, in order to improve. And it's humbling, no matter what that rehab and recovery that you have. It's humbling to get to the place where you recognize that where you are and who you are isn't good enough, that you have to move. And the directions you need to go to, a great man told me, forward and up is everything. That's where you should focus. That should be your direction. And I had to do that. I had to learn to walk again. I had to reteach my body to function in an adult way. And it was humbling. But it was also the thing that rehab and recovery does is that it's empowering. Because once you know that you're not alone in your struggle and your grind and your friction, then you can move forward. And then as you move forward, you can bring others forward too. And that's the additional blessing behind it is, okay, I can look you dead square in the eye and say, go. And have full understanding, faith, and belief that you will get to where you need to get to, because we're all walking, talking miracle.
Yes.
And we forget that. So we'll say it out loud that we are walking, talking miracles. And if we're still here today with an opportunity for one more day, which is all we can, whether it's recovery or rehab, ask for one more day so we can take the steps forward that we need to. And then ultimately we find out that we're undefeated, that all the things that were waged against us, that were said against us, didn't get us. They taught us.
Yeah, didn't get it. They taught us.
Right? They taught us, but they didn't beat us.
It's going to be a good one tonight.
Yeah.
Who do you want to bring up, Derek?
Let's bring in Brother Chase. He's got some stories to tell.
Chase. How you doing? You got to take this up.
I'm doing great. Yeah, I had to unmute the mic. I didn't realize it was muted. But
that's okay.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm especially grateful to be here tonight. I was just listening to Mr. Derek talk about recovery and learning to walk again and just humbling experiences. And I relate 110%. You know, that's what it's all about, no matter what it's recovery from, you know. But yeah, I'm a person in long-term recovery. I was part of the problem, and today I'm part of the solution. And I work in the field as well. And just in a short amount of time, God has allowed me to I don't know, to help others, you know. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful to be part of this book and just everything that comes with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you are the most youthful person on the team. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, I believe so. I believe Anthony's probably younger than me at heart, though.
It might be. It might that might be the case. So, can you tell me a little bit how your perspective is compared to some of the other team members? Because it seems to me that you got hit really hard right in your youth.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know. I would just say I kind of grew up in a pretty good home. You know, I had some unfortunate circumstances as far as my parents' situation and stuff like that. But growing up, I had a pretty decent childhood. But I don't know. I'd say my 20s were pretty much wasted to drugs and alcohol because I wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
wasted. You know, and, I don't know. It was like when I was younger, I had prospects. I was in college, just stuff like that, and then I let it control my life, you know. And then I tried to control it, and I couldn't. And I mean, I don't know. You don't really see as many young people in recovery, and I think it's just because they think they're missing out on something in life. But I don't know. I feel like I hit a bottom pretty early at the age of 27. You know, I did a lot of things and ended up places where I never wanted to be, and I wasn't happy about that at the time. But I'm grateful for it today. But
Wow. Wow. Now, Gloria is another author in the book, and she's trying to come up. I'm not sure what's going on with her equipment, but when she gets her equipment together, then we'll go ahead and introduce her. And I think someone has a little bit of an echo, so we just want to check that. But now that we've gotten just a little bit of an understanding about where everybody is and what where everybody has come from, Anthony, could you please tell me, how did you find everyone?
Well, a lot of them are really really close to me. Chase, Gloria, Gary, Megan, they're all here right here in North Carolina with me. Actually, they're actually in my neighborhood. They are local. I have tangible access to them on a daily basis if I need them. Okay, Coach
Wow.
DP, of course, you already know the impact of influence.
I,
We already go get it together anyway.
yeah, yeah.
And,
There you go.
one of my mentors, Gary Carlson, couldn't be on here. He just texted me, but I miss him. Gary's a powerful motivation. His story is amazing. But Gary is also, I found them. But look at the diversity that we have
Hmm.
in this book. I was able to pick 6 of the most amazing people that, and you've already heard this. God sent them to me. They
Hmm.
were the ones that decided I want to go. I want to get on board and share my story. So here we are. Here we are, and I'm just
Hmm.
amazed. I'm just so grateful. But I found them just by a prayer, and I said, God, lead me to who needs to be here. But Coach DP, and when I first put it out to another group, all of a sudden, a spling, and Coach DP said, "Do you still need?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Well, I'm going to help you," and he did. He reached out, and that's how I got Mr. Tabrizi, Hoss Tabrizi, to write his story. So the 6 people that are in Rebuilt Through Recovery, everyone's journey is different, are right where they need to be. You know.
Okay. So you know what? I'm curious about something that I see that I saw you go through personally, just in introducing you. Now, you and I talked about this isn't the first time something like this has happened to you, but someone felt comfortable enough or forward enough when you shared what you were addicted to have a pretty kind of flippant comment. They probably didn't mean anything by it, but it was a judgment real fast. You were kind enough to express to the group that you were formerly addicted to cocaine. And as quickly as it could fly out, the comment was, crack is whack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, that was tough. For me, it felt like a kick in the stomach, but you're accustomed to dealing with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's when you start getting into the mark of disgrace, and people
Yeah.
think they think that this is the ultimate sin. So that comes along with that stigma of addiction. But when you say now I was specific, crack is whack. I'm specific when I say my addictive behavior was crack cocaine. I used to be ashamed of that, but because associated with the consequences of that is the legal, the occupational, the relationship problems, the family problems, the stigma part of it. But the when I heard that, Coach, it took me for a loop because I defended to the fullest. Because if you have never, ever walked in my shoes firsthand on the streets, walking around with a backpack on your back, stinking, dirty, nasty, looking for your next fix, and don't know where you're going to get it from and will do anything, well, you were robbed for it, okay? If you have not been there, yeah, crack is whack, but I defend that, and I know that, you know what? Thank you, Farmer Johnson. No shame. Fireman said no shame no more. That's what I'm talking about. There's no shame no more because I've removed the mask.
Amen.
There's going to be judgment, and there's going to be all these erratic things coming at you when people just don't know. But when someone has been there firsthand, like myself, and you hear it, you get defensive. But I've learned to say, you know what? They just don't know. They just don't know the shame, because I'm that guy. I wasn't a slouch. I kept a fresh fade. I went to the gym. On the streets, they would say, man, you don't even look like us. You're like a functioning addict. I'm not functioning. I've lost everything. I lost the car. I'm losing things just like you are. I'm not functioning worth a hoot. Crack is whack. But to hear someone that's never been through it say it, it's a whole nother thing that I could go toe to toe with you, and I will debate you on it. I will debate you on it, and my debate is going to educate you on why I can debate you from a standpoint, Coach, of saying, yeah, crack is whack. The most whacked out thing that I've ever done in my life. But it made my body feel good, and I'm not gonna lie, it was fun in the beginning.
Okay. In the beginning. You want to know something? I marvel at this particular idea that people try to shame you with the thing that you struggle through. You know, that is what they will try to shame you with. They will attack you. I saw a raised hand. Okay, Chase. Before we go get too far down here, welcome, Gloria. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. I don't know what was going on here.
All right. I'm not sure what was going on, but I'm glad you got in here. I'm glad you got in here. Are you in North Carolina too?
Yes, I'm in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Southern Pines. And what's the what is your part of the book called?
You know, I can't
okay,
even
you
remember
didn't.
what my part is called.
But, that's okay. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. What were you addicted to?
Crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine. So you coming in right at a good part, because we just got done talking about how people try to hit you over the head of the thing that you struggle with, the thing that you
still do.
They still do. They still do. Okay.
And
I'm going to come back to you, and what I'm going to ask you is
Okay.
this. How did you navigate this? But Chase raised his hand when I said that. So Chase, what are your thoughts on that? You got to come off mute.
Honestly, I was waving at Miss Gloria, but I do have quite a few thoughts on that.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking about when you hear the word crack, you might think like the just say no campaign, or you have to be really out there to smoke crack or something like that. But I know that's one of the things I said I'd never do, and
Okay.
as a teenager, like drinking just beer with the friends and smoking weed and stuff like that. Over time, it just things became more and more. First I did those things, and then I did pharmaceuticals, and then I tried cocaine, and then eventually I smoked crack too. And I just feel like someone on the outside that's like Anthony was saying, never walked in your shoes. You might hear the word crack and kind of cringe, but like I work in the recovery field, and to someone to say they smoke crack to different clients, they just kind of look at them like, okay, who hasn't? It's just a different
Okay.
dynamic, and I don't know. I think that just kind of shows the progression of the disease. Like maybe in the 80s or whatnot, it was a lot more prevalent, but like nowadays, I don't know, it's kind of common.
Okay.
I would say
Okay.
with the people that I know. I mean, not common to a regular person, but to a drug addict.
Okay. I like how you really described how you started off with the mindset, oh, I would never do crack. But as you went through your journey and things became more palatable to you, more acceptable to you, you went the exact place that you said you would never go. I think that's
Yes, ma'am.
that's
It's like
very
Wow.
that's
I think a
powerful.
lot of people would probably feel the same way. I don't know about when I was a child. I said, well, as a child, I knew my dad was an alcoholic, and I had other family that did drugs, and I always said I'd never do those things. But
Mhm.
life
Well,
happens,
I think
and
it is. It's the pressure of life. One of the places where we air is on with a group called ACEs Matter. I fully support them, and this is why. Because they take a look at the things that happen in our childhood to cause the results in our adulthood. And it's adverse childhood experiences. I like the idea of they're simply saying that it's an experience. It's not blaming your parents. It's not blaming your environment. It's just taking a look at what happened to create the adult that we see here. And then let's not do those things to the people that we birthed or that we're responsible for, so that we don't create the exact type of or the same adverse childhood experiences. But we do need to connect the dots, and I love them for that. Megan, I want to hear your thoughts on this. You had shared earlier, and you can, if you don't remember what you said, that's fine. But you had shared that your addiction really caused you to do some things that surprised you.
Yeah, I think we can just piggyback right here off of what Chase was saying. I mean, I grew up in a good family. I came from a good neighborhood. I was a cheerleader. At no point in my life did I ever grow up and say, I think one day I'm going to, choose to do methamphetamines and be addicted to pain pills. At no point did I ever say that I think I'm going to let that overrule every decision in my life, including how to be a mother. But it did. And that just shows the progression of the disease. And it does. I mean, it took me down some tunnels that I thought that I would never, ever go to. And I am grateful to have had a supportive family throughout all of this, that I never had to be on the streets, and I was able to get into a sober living facility so I could get myself right. I went to rehab and all of that. But the thing is that during all of that time, I was away from my son. And so as a little girl growing up, you picture your wedding and you picture your life. And I didn't ever imagine that it would be me fighting to get myself right so I could be a mother to my child. By the grace of God, he has, dusted me off and cleaned me and showed me the way. But for a long time, I didn't know if I would ever get here. And so, yeah, I never grew up as a little girl going, this is how I'm going to live my life.
Wow. Thank you so much. All right, Gloria. I just want to hear your heart on what's been going on, and then the things that you've been saving up that you needed to say.
Yes, it came to me. My title was A Message to the Madness. And I am 25 years. Thank you, Lord. Sober.
Wow.
And I thank God for the sobriety. And I lived in Durham. I left Southern Pines, moved to Durham because everything was out of control in 1996. And I am a local preacher at Trinity and Zion Church. Been a local preacher for 3 years. So I've experienced in the late 70s when crack cocaine came into West Southern Pines. It hit the street, it hit it hard, and it hit it heavy. It was just like driving through a drive-through window at McDonald's. You could get crack cocaine on every corner back in the late 70s and 80s. So it wasn't a shame, and like I said, it wasn't a shame in nobody's game. You either did things that you wouldn't normally do, or you played that role and played that game. And sometimes when you played that game, bull jiving folks, people having you go get stuff, you never came back, you hit the woods, and you're gonna have to be high now, and every car that come down the street, you're gonna have to be with a hoodie over for the things that you do. And that's what the drug does to an individual. But thank God, I went to maybe a couple of NA and AA meetings, probably 2 or 3. That's it. I had pastors and members in the church who embraced me. And I thank God for that. They embraced me, and that's all in that chapter. And I just thank God for that. And we have a program at our church. It's called SAMI, is Substance Abuse Misuse Initiative. I do mostly calls. In the summertime, we were outside having our classes, but I still am in communication with 6 or 7, and we probably had about 30 or 40 who've came in the program. Some moved from Southern Pines, and some came and they said they didn't need any more help. But I just thank God for the blessing. That was a blessing. It was nothing but God that turned my life around.
Amen. I have a question, though. I have a question because Megan attributes her success to God. Gloria, you do. Anthony, you do. Derek, you do. And Chase, I'm not sure about you. Do you attribute your success to God?
Yes, ma'am. 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
But now I got you. Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Because the reason why I asked this question is because what about if you're an atheist? What about if you're an atheist? What can you grab hold to? How can you help someone who does not necessarily believe in a higher power? I do. Now, you guys know I do. That's just the way it is. That's how I roll.
Wow.
But
Okay.
I find myself without an ability to connect to the heart of someone who doesn't believe in the power of God. That's difficult. It seems elusive to me. It seems very elusive. And it's not because I can love them. I want to get that out. I can most certainly love them. I can listen to them. But at the end of the day, I am absolutely certain there is nothing that I can give that is enough. And I know wholeness, completeness, that who is enough, he who is enough is God. So help me out. Help me out, guys.
I would love to answer this if I may. This is
Well,
actually
Megan, I met one person and I worked with this guy. He sold marijuana and he smoked crack. He would tell me, he said, Miss G, this was in 1997. He said, Miss G, you know what? He said, I don't believe in God. I was like, okay. I said, what do you believe in? He said, my mother is a minister, but I don't believe in God. So I was like, well, okay, you believe in something. To make a long story short, he was having some problems with one of his daughters. She was smoking marijuana, and he confided in me, and we talked. So I said to him, let's pray. He said, okay, Miss G, pray for me. We prayed. I said, I thought you was an atheist, but I prayed for him and for his daughter. So that's the only person that I've met who said they were an atheist. But I've been around people who say, well, I believe in a higher power. I'm not going to say it's Jesus Christ, but I believe in a higher power.
Okay. So, Megan, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah.
I'm speaking from my own personal experience and the fact that it took me almost a decade to figure out that it was God the whole time. But anybody that gets into recovery and works a 12-step program, they tell you, oh, just believe in a higher power. It can be a doorknob. It can be a tree, as long as you believe in something. And I think that the pinnacle of these 12-step programs are that as long as you believe in something and you put your faith into that something and you continue to work in a positive manner and work through those steps, which I firmly believe in, because they teach you how to look at yourself in the mirror and how to be kind to your fellow neighborhood, your people around you, right? So it's a transformation internally that flows externally. And as you're living that life and being positive and getting in a grateful mindset, God is in that. And he is going to make sure that you have that spiritual awakening. He's in it, and he'll find you. So all you have to do is continue to be positive and put out positive and be grateful and be humble, which is the whole pinnacle and the crux of the 12-step program. And God is in it. And so that's why I think they tell you believe in a doorknob and believe in a tree or whatever. But once you get towards the end, if you look at a lot of the old timers, they are some of the most God-fearing people that you will ever meet in your life, because it took us that. You have to take baby steps into the fact that you've been looking into the face of God for the last however many years. And then if you want to get into the whole spiritual warfare, I mean, we could be here all night, but he's in there, and that's how it happens. It's a process.
Wow. DP, there was no 12-step program for what you went through.
No.
There was no formula for that.
No. It was one step.
Oh, yeah. And what was that?
It was one step forward.
Okay.
Forward. Remember, the simplicity was, if you don't change how your location, you're going to die.
Okay.
If you're not going to change your life, you're going to die. And you can't stay where you are, because if you do, you're going to die. Now, my God is a guy with a sense of humor.
Okay.
Because he made me, and he understands that I listen the way I listen. I'm hard-headed, but I have big ears. That's something my brother used to say about me. I'm hard-headed with big ears. I never had addictive relationships with alcohol or drugs, but I had a comfortable relationship with it.
Oh, okay.
And what God did with me was he figured out pretty early that I won't pay attention, but I will listen. My
Okay.
30th birthday, I owned a bar. So I had access to all the liquor any human could want or need. On my 30th birthday, my friends decided to get together at my bar and throw me a party at my bar.
Okay, yeah. You were supplying the liquor?
Right, at my bar. And,
Okay.
And their mission was, because I was this guy, I was the party guy, that they were going to get me to do 30 shots of liquor because I was 30 years old. One shot for every year of my birthday. But see, I was the broad-shouldered, big-headed dude who thought, okay, that's a really good idea. And so throughout the course of that evening, I did my 30 shots. What also happened in that evening was, in between the shots, they would bring me a beer. They would bring me another drink. And somewhere throughout the course of the evening, I checked out. I mentally checked out. And they couldn't find me, because I was in my office under the desk hugging a trash can. And I had to be escorted out of my own building. Well, but here's what happened from that. The next day, that night, I all that alcohol was purged out of me.
Okay.
Involuntarily. I should have died from alcohol poisoning. Anybody else would have died from alcohol poisoning. But he wasn't done with me. Okay. So he made me listen. You can't live this way. You will not live this way. And throughout the course of my life, God puts these barriers in front of me, these situations, and says, this is where you will change location and elevation. I'm hard-headed, but I got big ears.
You're hard-headed, but you got big ears.
Hey, when he teaches me, I pay attention.
Okay.
Pay attention. And then through the medical situation, I had to get out and learn to walk. I had to learn to go to the bathroom again. I had to learn to change my diet. I had to learn to, put the sodas down and drink water. I had to learn to do all those things in place. 27 blood clots, 3 in my heart, 4 in my lungs. There's no joke. There's no joke to that. And it's, what are you going to do next? And the answer, again, because I listened, was, I got to go. I got to get off of this spot that I'm in. I got to get out of this place that I am. I can no longer be who I am right now. And the direction that I need to go is consistent since that day. Go forward, go up, go forward and up. Never go back. Never retreat. Don't stay down. Keep it moving.
You know what? What I love about your story is this. You have reached so many levels of success, but oftentimes people believe that because they are successful, that, oh, I don't have to succumb to the path of going forward, going up, because the alcohol can't beat me, the crack can't beat me, the illness can't beat me. And sometimes there's just an arrogance that goes along with success. And you have clearly told us that there is no amount of arrogance that you can have that is going to cause you to not succumb to these, the drugs, the alcohol, or even illness. And so I appreciate that about your story.
He gave me the gift of one more day.
One more day.
Like again, the greatest gift that he gives us is the opportunity. Like, that's the thing. And once you recognize, oh my goodness gracious, what a gift that is, then I gotta go. And this ain't, none of what happened since those days was me. I'm nothing exceptional other than I love harder and louder than anybody I know.
Harder and louder than anyone you know.
But that's it.
I want to make it a contest. Who can love hardest?
Oh man.
I'm signing up. I'm signing up.
Let's go. Let's go. That's the line we should be in. That's the line we should be in. That, you know what? I don't, for all my brothers and sisters here, it's not my job to judge them. God never asked me to.
Oh, boy,
I don't have the email saying, hey, I need for you to help me judge. No, it's not that. But I'm a coach. And the rule that I learned early as a coach is simple. That the people that I cross paths with, especially young people, but in particular grown-ups who think they know everything, is that I need to love them more after the lesson than after the victory. See, after the victory, they don't need me. But after the lesson, you need me, and I gotta love you. I gotta love you. See, it don't matter when I love people to love at your best. You want people to love you knowing what you're capable of and loving you more. See, that's what all rehab and recovery is all about. That it is an acceptance of your location, and then you say, you know what? This is what I am. This is where I am, but we gotta go.
So I just want to hover over something you said, because you didn't say it this way, but I'm wondering if this is what you mean. Do you mean that through our journey, we have to know that people are going to love us at our worst?
You don't have to accept them at their worst,
but love them. But somehow,
I gotta love you.
Yes, but somehow they can. But before we believe that they love us, we have to know that they love us at our worst.
Well, see, here's the thing: we know what we're capable of.
But do they know? Do the people who love us know?
Remove the stigma.
Yeah.
Because the stigma is the judgment that I'm less because I'm flawed. No, we're all flawed. So let's stop. Why you say don't judge because we sin differently. No. What I'm saying is your sins are yours until they're mine. And then they're ours. And guess what? We can beat anything.
Yeah.
We is greater than me. Going through your stigma by yourself is where the pain comes. That's where the dignity gets pushed aside, because you feel like they can't. They're good people. They love me even though I have a flaw. No. That's the definition of love. See, that's the real definition of love. Is that when friction happens and somebody is trying to change their place, it is your hand that's offered. See, it's that open hand versus the closed hand. That open hand allows you to put your hand in mine and we can go. I can't leave you where you were. I don't have to accept where you are, but I'm not going to leave you there either. So recovery is the change of location, elevation, and purpose. And now everybody here learned that they have a purpose greater than the thing that had possession of them.
Come on, man.
See, and once you learn that, that love is more powerful than that thing, that good. We say, my brother minister tell you can't talk about GOOD without GOD.
That's right.
Hey, there you go. You know what? You know, when you're in the Baptist church, you know, and they and the people start shouting, and throwing their prayer cloths off. They laugh, and the men are throwing their handkerchiefs. And
I'm just making it rain love, because that's what we need. You can't wash away a sin without love raining down on you. We know. We already know.
Oh my goodness, the church just erupted. The church just erupted. There you go. That's what I have to say. This is what I want to know from each of you, and I'm going to start with you, Anthony. I want to know who was the last person you helped when it comes to addiction, and how is it going now?
You got to repeat that, because you froze right in between what you were.
Oh my goodness. I was asking, who is the last person you helped with addiction, and how is it going now?
Oh, wow.
Because it's about the help, you know?
Yeah. The last person I helped is actually was recent, very recent. And as I teach a men's recovery group at a local jail, I've seen guys transition out. I've even seen guys transition out and go right back to the same scenario and overdose and die. One particular man that keeps in touch with me ran across me because he was behind bars. He's a same age as I am, but this man was behind bars. That's where I met him. And he transitioned out and changed his life and went to a program, and he keeps in touch with me all the time. He's a local person, and what happened was he decided enough was enough. And I could see it when I'm teaching the class on Zoom to the guys at the jailhouse. I can see the reaction. He would always sit in front of the camera where I couldn't see nobody else. That's how bad he wanted it. And he did the right thing when he got out, and he called me and said, man, had it not been that I ran into you, and I just do what I do. I give it away. And he said, everything that you're telling me is coming to pass. He said, it's been 60 days now. And man, and I can see that his whole complexion has changed. His hands are clean. And I can't stand and judge, just like Coach DP was saying. Until I create my own universe, I can't judge nobody. That's what I want.
Wow.
And when I want to go back just briefly to the atheist thing. I guarantee you, when you find you're behind in a jam and you call yourself an atheist, in a heartbeat, you're going to say, Lord, help me. I don't care how much of an atheist you call yourself, but find yourself behind some handcuffs, find yourself behind some bars, and you'll say, Lord, help me, regardless of your atheist beliefs. So that's what my take is. But I still love them. I don't judge them either. If somebody comes to me and they're atheists and they're dealing with addictive behaviors, I'm going to help them. I'm not going to turn my back on them, you know, but I guarantee you it was nothing but the power of God that saved me when a drug dealer had that gun in my head and pulled the trigger and it jammed. It was nothing but the power of God that saved me 2 overdoses. And they say you overdose on crack. Yeah, I overdose on crack, because if you smoke crack for 10 days straight and don't eat and don't drink and you dehydrate, all your muscles are convulse and turn, twist, and you will overdose. Did it 2 times. That's nothing but the power of God to me be sitting in front of you, and the Rebuilt Through Recovery book is coming out. And I know that's not the question you asked me, but Lord have mercy, I can't hold it in no more.
I'll take it. Keep going.
It's nothing but the power of God. And I know since the age of 17, I knew that this was how my life was going to be. But I ran from that thing. I was told, do not make a left turn. I heard it audibly. I made a left turn for 30 years until I turned back right.
Okay.
I made a right turn and turned back right. Now I'm doing the things that I was shown at a young age. I just couldn't believe it was lined up for me to do it. But your body, for the people that don't know, what happens is your body automatically already produces naturally what it needs. Endorphins, serotonin, dopamine. Now I'm getting medical on it because it is a medical disease. Anytime you introduce crack cocaine or some mood-altering chemical, it takes your mind, and you're like a hamster on a wheel, and you're wide open, and your body says, whoa. Thank you. Give me some more of that. And it'll tell you don't even eat right now. Go over there and steal a $5,000 generator, take it to the drug dealer, and get $200 worth of dope. Insanity. But that's nothing but the power of God for me to be sitting here and putting me in front of 6 amazing people who decide to write a book with me.
Yeah.
And it's coming to pass on January 22nd when we release and have our launch date. It's done.
Wow.
Grateful.
Wow.
I'm grateful.
One of the things that I say all the time, but it's not like I wrote it because it's scripture, but it's all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord.
Come on.
I say it. Yeah. I say it all the time, and I'm so thankful that I believe it. I'm not really thankful that I say it. I'm thankful that I believe it. I'm even more thankful that he has shown me that it is true. You know,
I got off track, Coach. I'm sorry. You told me to explain something, and I got off track. So it just came out of me.
Know what? It's all good. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. I appreciate it. I want Megan to tell me about the most powerful. Well, I'm assuming that you have helped someone recover.
Yes, I have.
Please tell me about one of the most powerful times that you did that.
I'd have to say it's the most recent one.
Okay.
And I just want to preface this with saying that you never know what somebody is going through. Because we are built to play a part, to play a role, to hide our feelings, not let people know that we're having a bad day. We got to be pretty on the outside and just be perfect on the outside. And you just never know what someone is going through. And so as this book is being launched, as I am getting brave enough to tell my testimony, because you guys, I've been petrified to do it for so many years. I'm just now getting to a point in my recovery where I'm comfortable airing all my dirty laundry. But in the midst of this, and it hasn't even come out yet, there's only maybe a handful of people who know my whole story until this book hits the shelves, right? So I have this posted up on my Facebook, and people know I'm in recovery. I recover out loud. But by posting this and about the launch, and there's been some people in my life who have reached out to me to say, oh, I'm so proud of you that you're doing this. And I'm like, okay, great. And a couple of them have bought my book, and I'm like, yeah, it's just, they're supporting me. It's my family or friends, close friends, whoever. And I get a message from a dear friend of mine who is going through one of the hardest points in her life, which is centered around alcohol and having a problem. And I'm just like, if I wouldn't have taken the time to sit down and write these 5,000 words, this person might not have had a person to turn to or known that she could have had a person to turn to. So it's already affecting and impacting people. So this is how quickly this is happening, you guys. So I want you all to be prepared, because we're about to make a huge impact on people's lives, and it's already happening. So I would have to say that right there, as much as I was thinking that this person was helping me and supporting me, I'm now supporting her. We're going to start doing some online AA meetings and, trying to take her through the process of recovery and healing. So I would have to say that's been a gift, a blessing that God has given me to show me that this is not all in vain. You are doing something positive by being vulnerable and putting yourself out there. There's good to come from this.
I agree for sure. For sure. Chase, and I'm going to refer back to your age, just because you are a person of youth. You went through this in your 20s, and I just feel like people of your age group have a different mindset on vulnerability. I think my age group is kind of judgy. I just do. I just do. But you guys, your age group seems to be a little bit more free with telling their story and showing their scars. And I'm just wondering, has that given you more freedom in connecting?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so, 100%. Well, first off, before I forget, I just want to say the verse that you quoted, Romans 8:28. That's my favorite Bible verse. So I think that's pretty cool.
All
But
right, I'm with you.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like when I was out there, I had to wear a mask at all times. I've seen someone post something about a mask in the comments, but I just felt like I was living a lie my whole life. I didn't want anyone to know
Okay.
the real me, what I really was, how I really felt, because I felt like it made me weak, But when I get in
Okay.
recovery, I believe that God can use all of my experiences that I've been through.
Hmm.
So if I share my experience with someone like a young person per se, maybe I can tell them where I've been or where I've been at or the things that have happened to me, and it can give them hope that maybe they can recover. Maybe there is hope for them that they can live a good life, without drugs and alcohol. And that's
Hmm.
why, to me, I feel like it's for God. That's why if I can help someone, then all of my life hasn't been in vain. If my experience can help just one person get sober, if I can just plant a seed, it's like that means a lot to me,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'll give you another one. Another one of my favorite verses is God uses my weakness as a strength. God gives me his strength through my weakness. And so um, I don't really have to hide the areas that I'm weak. What I do is I have to submit and realize where it is that I am weak so I can give it to God and he can make me strong. You know, that's my part. His strength is made perfect in my weakness. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, did I get that right, family?
Yeah, you did. And
All right.
I want to. This is personal to me. Thank Chase because he has been for a young man to already get this out of his system and
Yeah.
recognize and start giving back at such an early age. He's got so much life ahead of him that's getting ready to things are the best is yet to come for you, Chase. I'm telling you. And
Oh yeah.
the best is yet to come, man. You got to stay grounded. You know you got us, and man, you are doing some amazing things, man. And I'm so proud of you, man, for being a part of this. And I approached Chase. Chase will let you in. He said, I don't know if I can be an author, man. And I said, yeah, you can. You can do it. And he wrote 5,000 words. And when he got
Okay.
done, he said, man, I believe I could have wrote some more. So
Okay.
I believe this is just the first of many books that's coming out for him, and he's surrounded by some great people. But this is amazing. Thank you so much.
You know what? Thank you guys.
that means a
Thank you
lot.
guys. You know what? Look, all I'm hearing in my head is James Brown paid the cost to be the boss. Oh yeah, paid the cost to be the boss. That is what I am hearing. You know what, family? I just can't thank you enough for hanging out with me for this hour. Tell me where can they find the book? Where can people find the book?
Right now, we're in pre-sale mode, and each
Okay,
author right now is setting up their own links where they can sell their books to their audiences. So
got it.
they are allowed to do that. And my books are posted. I post my sale links up on all of my social media sites, my Facebook, my Instagram, and they're doing the same thing. So you just have to look out for it. And you follow Chase, you follow Coach DP, you follow Megan, you follow Hoss, Gary, and Gloria, and you'll see that they have their personal links up selling their books.
Okay, and is it on Amazon? Where is it on Amazon?
Right now we're in pre-sale. There's a launch date on January the 22nd from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And we're going to set up have the Eventbrite link put up, and that way they
Okay,
can click. We need as many people. I need everybody's just chiming in right now. I need you guys to put this on your calendar to show up on launch day for our book.
Yes.
We're going to make this a #1 bestseller.
All right. All right. And so it'll be on Amazon on that day. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. And
Yes.
then family, if you would, you know, in our little group chat we have, if you guys would send me your links, I'll post them up. I'll post them up. And so we can draw some attention to your book. And then if you also would put that launch date out so I can make sure that the community knows about it. I think everybody wants to support you and they appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. We are the authors of Rebuilt Through Recovery, #RiseUp. And we want to
All
thank
right.
everyone's journey is different. So Rebuilt Through Recovery, look out for it. We will be, if you need to book us, get in contact with us. We will make some speaking engagements. We will do some book signings, and we are available to you.
Well, look, keep us posted. Post your book signings and all that good stuff in the Discord so that people know how to find you. I have to tell you, there are a lot of people who have addictions, and sometimes they just don't know it. We're switching over, you know, the year's ending, we're winding down. But in 2022, one of the things I'm going to be talking about is how most people are addicted to something. It might not be alcohol. It might not be crack cocaine, and it might not be food. But what it very well may be, you're addicted to being comfortable in your feelings. You're addicted to your anger. You're addicted to your job. You know, so we're going to explore these ideas. We're going to really attack this in 2022. As a matter of fact, 2022 is all about you. So here we come. We're coming to help. My pleasure. Any parting words? Any parting words, family?
I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's it.
All right, we'll leave it there. I love you all, and there is nothing you can do about it. Thank you for watching, guys.
Thank
Bye-bye
you.
for now.
God bless.
God bless. Thank you.